so let me. Okay, so yeah, so thank you for joining me today. And today I am going to talk about some XR news, AR/VR news. Okay, so first one is Yahoo.finance. Okay, finance.yahoo.com. Okay, so if you open that news, the title is Augmented and Virtual Reality in Healthcare Market Size to reach USD probably around $4,300 million by 2027. Okay, so this news, I would say when I saw this news, it's kind of like, like VR and AR, it's getting there, right? Since, Facebook put a lot of money inside. So it's obviously we can see that like this XR marketing is growing, definitely growing. Okay, so first, let's see. This news is pretty much talking about, for example, like in this area, which is for more like a healthcare market, right? What's healthcare market? By type, it will be semiconductor components, or for the application, it will be pharmacy benefit management, rehabilitation, and therapeutics, patient care management, surgical and diagnostic image, medical training, fitness management, education. So you see, like as for augmented and virtual reality, it can pretty much, work in a lot of different areas, even though it is, pretty much in the healthcare market. Okay, so let's take a look. If like as for the global AR and VR healthcare market, we know that as for for AR, it's more surgical and diagnostic procedure. So for example, like AR, it allows the doctor or the surgeon to see the autonomy, or kind of like a lot of different information overlay on top of the patient's body. So it will make the like kind of like increase the precision of the surgery, right? And as for VR, it's more for education, right? Because we all know that as for training. Hello, Stephanie, do you want to raise your hand so I can add you on the stage? Yay. Okay, cool. Cool. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, hello. Yeah, we just talk about today in finance.yahoo.com, Yahoo Finance. We just talk about augmented reality and virtual reality in healthcare market size to reach probably around $4,300 million by 2027. So yeah, so we were just like a simple recap. We were talking about, for example, like in this area, right? As for the AR/VR healthcare market, by type, it will be more semiconductor components, sensors. And as for application, it will be more, some things related to pharmacy benefit management, rehabilitation, and therapeutics, patient care management, surgical and diagnostic image, medical training, fitness management, education, and others. So all the healthcare, including all those applications, will pretty much increase around 24% by 2027. And the market cap will be around around $4,300 million by 2027. So it's kind of getting large and large, right? And then let's take a look. As for AR, augmented reality, applied in, apply in healthcare, this field, it's usually applied in surgical and diagnostic procedure. Why? Because, I would say it's MR, but you can say AR as well, because it's pretty much the data visualization overlay on top of the real world, right? So for example, if you kind of see some images or some, online, there are some blogs talking about AR in surgical and diagnostic procedure. Usually before the procedure or surgical treatment, usually the doctor need to scan the patient's body and make sure they can reconstruct a lot of 3D data related to the patient, right? And later on, when the doctor wear, usually it's HoloLens or Meta 2, like the kind of like a AR glass, or you can say MR glass, mixed reality glass, and they can pretty much see the all the data in 3D representation overlay on top of the patient's body. So when doing the surgery, right, the doctor can really clear to see like, oh, where's the problem by all those overlaying real-time update images. So it will really increase the precision of the surgery. And also, as for VR is more, I would say, more training, because VR, by putting you in the kind of like a virtual space, it pretty much can change your perception of the life or like your environment, right? So it's very good for training, and also really good for like telemedicine, or like kind of like, I would say, mentally treatment, or make you feel something, right? Or like kind of, I would say, in a more human way, it makes you feel something, right? For example, if you feel panic, right? And then by wearing VR, it will change a lot of, your view, your environment, so make you calm. So VR is really good for training and also educational stuff. For example, when the doctor is trying to learning how to operate, right? Like some surgeries, it's very easy to get into VR, and using all the tools and haptic tools, because sometimes doctors need some feedback. So by doing that practice inside VR, it can save a lot of staff, right? Because you don't need a teacher to operate in front of you, and it will has a lot of data, because in order to improve, you need to data. You need to see your performance, which is your data, right? How you perform, right? And you can repeat again and again. And as for, you see, like, it's very dangerous for a newbie, a new doctors a new surgeon to operate, on the real patient. So by kind of practicing inside VR space, it can also help, the doctors to, allow them to make a lot of mistakes before, going to the real surgery rooms. So I would say, yeah, so this field, it's increasing, and and inside this news, it has a lot of major players in augmented reality and virtual reality in the healthcare market. If you are interested, you can take a look. Philips Healthcare simulates GE Healthcare virtual realities, intuitive surgical, World V's, K Healthcare, TheraSim, Simon Healthcare, Vita Images, Vida Medical. So all those companies, they are right now the major AR and VR healthcare market. So yeah, I'm really happy to see like this market is growing and growing. And then any thoughts of this news? Yeah, feel free to unmute yourself and share your thoughts.
I think it's so amazing to see how much impact AR and VR can have in even the healthcare market. And it just made me kind of wonder how utilizing VR could even change the overall experience for medical students that are trained to be doctors. kind of like how it would be practicing or being engaged in like a real life or virtual simulation. So yeah.
Yeah. Stephanie, any?
Yeah, I think this technology is like pretty amazing. And one thing that I thought about in terms of like AR for surgeons, I was just curious, thinking about like how the products would be designed, because I'm thinking like some of these surgeries are very high risk for these patients, depending on what medical conditions they had, anything could go wrong during the surgery. So how the product would be designed, like, where the data, like the real-time data would be presented in front of the surgeon, as well as when the data would be, when it would be presented, because doctors have to focus on like, being, they have to attend and focus on specific like surgical incisions or whatnot, and if it could be distracting to them, and how they would balance that out.
Yeah, I would say as far as I see a lot of the examples. Usually, I saw some demos. Usually, doctors need to wear, or surgeon need to wear HoloLens, right? You know HoloLens, right? It's like a really big, around $3,000 computer, cover your eyes, right? And everything else. It's like there's a kind of like a plastic, kind of like a view in front of you, right? So it's kind of like you can, and what you see, when you see it, you will see a lot of information overlay on top of the environment. So that's the device, HoloLens or Meta 2 or something else, right? And then first, the patient needs to do a lot of something similar to CT scanning, right? Or something similar to, you need to have a lot of data first of, like there will be a lot of machine to gather patients' data. And also, it seems like there's a way to get the patient's wine, right? It seems like you need to, I don't know, maybe I was wrong, but I remember you probably need to drink some certain of something, and then to show, something that the doctor can see using, the HoloLens to see through your body or something, right? And it's kind of like I would say it's like when you open your eyes inside doctor's HoloLens, you can see the person's bone, you can see the person's, I don't know, heart or something, right? And you can see the abnormal part right in front of you. So when you do the cutting or do the surgery, that part just overlay, like for example, you just kind of like making it so clear that doctor won't cut anything else. So and it's all supported by the previous scanning and trying to overlay on top of the patient's body and make sure it's really precise that the doctor won't mess it up. So I know it's like I'm not majored in any medical care or healthcare, but when I saw some videos, you can type YouTube and maybe you Google some images related to healthcare using HoloLens or using VR, or surgeon use AR doing the operations. When I saw some blogs, it seems like I saw the image, which is the patient's bone pretty much overlay on top of that patient. And then there will be some abnormal part being highlighted. So the doctor, when you talk to somebody and the bone just show everything in front of you, and you kind of know what's going on, and it's very easy to kind of diagnose or ask questions or trying to cure when the problem just show right in front of you and update real time. For example, when the patient is moving and the bone will kind of like just overlay on top of it, on top of the patient's body, and moving with the patient. So yeah, so it will be really easy for doctors, for example, operating, some bones or some surgical stuff. Then the doctor can see, oh, this part is misaligned or something, right? And it also can do the correction overlay on top of abnormal part. So the doctor, all they need to do is to just follow the direction from the HoloLens. So it seems like, yeah, I don't know how to actually operate it, but when I see the video introducing AR, helping surgeons to operate the surgery, and it's proven work. Yeah, and there are a lot of those technology already out there and being approved by FDA. So I find out that this is pretty amazing, and definitely, well, kind of help the surgery, help the success rate for the surgery. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh, let's take a look of the next news. The next one will be on the KEYT.com, KEYT.com. And the title is called Sacramento Fire Department Turns to Virtual Reality TikTok for Recruitment. This article was written by Manson Kevy. Okay, so the interesting part when I saw this news this morning is that Sacramento Fire Department turned into virtual reality and TikTok for recruitment. Yeah, so they want to attract more younger generation to join the fire department. So what they come up with is that they put, a lot of, they kind of have their staffs using GoPro to shoot a bunch of the 360 immersive videos, and they put all the immersive videos in virtual reality. So for example, when people can kind of download the 360 maybe from app, maybe like a viewer, and they can immerse themselves to see what's the jobs or what like how like first person perspective to see how firefighters to do their job. For example, you can see the scenarios include inside a fire, vehicle extraction, and later climb. So those are very interesting scenarios. Also, they have 64K followers on TikTok, which is amazing because we all know that, like all those fire department probably, they kind of share something that nobody wants to follow. But it's very interesting. They got 64K followers on TikTok. So pretty much, they are trying to grab, young people's attention of the day, right? So they put a lot of videos related to firefighters working on, save lives. Yeah, those videos, and it went viral. They had like more than 7 million views, 1 million likes. So I would say that through all those social media or virtual reality, Sacramento Fire Department did a really good job in the recruitment or grabbing young people's eyeball, or for the social viral. I think they did a very good job. Okay, any thoughts, comments?
Oh, I just wanted to say, I think it's such a great tactic because for sure, I feel like a lot of young generation use TikTok, and I also use it a lot. And yeah, it's really amazing to hear that their views, they got, I think you said like 7 million on their videos, and that they have like 64,000 followers on TikTok. So yeah, I think it's an amazing strategy.
Yeah, I think it's also really cool to think about just exactly in terms of the strategy to implement just the technology that the younger generations are using. And I just thought it was super creative to use a GoPro to give just people who are viewing a firsthand experience of what it's like and seeing that view in just the daily life of a firefighter. So that's really cool.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like they are very creative, and definitely it's a new stuff that I didn't know it, but when I see it, I think it makes sense because, you know, firefighters, right? It's hard to see what firefighters doing, you know, except I don't know, when I maybe like look up like a TV shows or, you know, something else. But you know, it's a real life document, right? And so it's very interesting to see Sacramento Fire Department using VR and TikTok for recruitment. Yeah. Okay. So the third news is on the distortimes.com. Okay. So yeah, if you want to see it, and the title is called Virtual Reality HQ brings the digital gaming universe to Hernando. This article was written by Amelia Middleton. Okay, so pretty much in this article, it talks about in his hometown Hernando, he pretty much create kind of like the gaming world with new virtual reality arcade, and the company is called Virtual Reality HQ. Yeah, and it's located in his hometown in Hernando. So pretty much the reason why he wants to do this is because his hometown in Hernando is a really small hometown, and everyone just go out to have some fun. For example, like they drive out to nearby cities to entertain. So that's why he found that, yeah, why not to create, you know, a small virtual reality arcade, using virtual reality for people to do like online multiple player games, such as he started with the haunted house and war scenes. So for when I see this, I think it's target probably a more young male, right? I think, yeah. So he is trying to, you know, create a little virtual community for the young people in his hometown to play some multiplayer games such as Haunting House and War, so people will feel more entertainment inside the hometown without going out to explore some fun in other, you know, far away from their hometown. So I think this is very interesting because they can pretty much, you know, stay at home. I find out in after COVID, everyone rather stay at home. Nobody wants to drive outside, and especially the petroleum, right? The gas is keeping up and up, and this winter is extremely cold. So if you know, like people knows that their gas fee will go higher just because of the fireplace, right? We need some heaters. So yeah, so I would say VR definitely helps people to stay at home more. If you go out, usually you have to spend money, right? When you are stay at your hometown or, you know, around you somewhere and you wear VR headset, pretty much you can entertain at home. You don't need to really go outside. So yeah, so this is a very interesting concept that, you know, help people to stay at the hometown, right? And wear virtual reality headset and play a lot of multiplayer game. You can still social, but instead of hanging out in the real physical bar, you can pretty much wear VR headset, you know, and you can, you know, enjoy your social life as well. So yeah, so any thoughts or comments on the somebody built a VR headquarter inside the hometown allows the young people to play some multiplayer games? Yeah, any thoughts?
Wow, I would really like to try this. And he mentioned that he created VR like haunted houses and war scenes. So I just thought, oh, that's perfect for Halloween. And yeah, I'm actually pretty curious to hear about what other experiences or like environments he created in his like gaming world. And like you mentioned, after COVID, people love to stay home. And I think if I had this headset, I would definitely find myself staying at home longer. So yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I think this is so neat and helps create so many more opportunities for people who and children who don't have access to like just more diverse experiences in say larger like cities and whatnot. And it just made me think about how this week when Mark Zuckerberg made his announcement with their changes to Facebook, and I saw some videos of just how they were the company was looking into creating experiences with games too, and you know like I saw I just in terms of one of their products or experiences was you could just sign in and be able to you can see from like first perspective playing directly with like a character, an avatar that you create, and like I don't know, just like able to transport to so many different worlds and different types of environments. And so it's kind of exciting to see how more and more of this technology is evolving. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say that in the future, maybe it's just like Ready Player One. I don't know whether you saw the movie or not, Ready Player One. And also Ready Player One was inspired by a novel called Snow Crash. If you are interested in knowing like the super futuristic, what well future looks like, I recommend you to read that book called Snowflakes. This is a very interesting book and inspired a lot of VR enthusiasts and also game developers. So yeah, so it's pretty much talking about the future, like how ads display, how people, dress up for avatars. And also Ready Player One featured a lot of really cool stuff, such as, I would say, like inside a movie, the main character usually, wear the headset and jump into the virtual world. And the virtual world almost become part of their life. And the virtual world is amazing, lovely, customized according to all your needs, right? All the excitement, right? And then when you take off the headset, the world is pretty much really messed up, such as, like everything is like they, everyone live in like in a poverty, right? And the world is pretty much couldn't really leave outside, right? It's like a disaster. But when you wear the headset, everything is amazing, splendid inside. So yeah, it's kind of cool, but it's also a little sad that we kind of mess up the world. And this morning I just saw a lot of extreme climate is destroying our world. For example, like this winter, like in California, we will have a lot of extreme something, right? Like, I don't know, like really low temperature, and then yeah, and a lot of things happening for the extremely extreme weathers. So I would say maybe Ready Player One is probably, I don't want to say that, but maybe we are slowly approaching to that types of life, making all the virtual stuff or migrate our physical world and kind of dematerialize all our life, right? And migrate to the virtual world. And every day just wear the headset and you can do everything there. And when you take out the headset, when you see the world is pretty much very hard to leave, right? But when you wear a headset, everything is amazing according to whatever you want. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that it seems like the future. Okay, cool. Thank you everyone to join me today for this week's news. And thank you so much. And I will hopefully see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.